The Treb numbers are in from June. Should you be buying or selling right now? Stay tuned to find out. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jordan from the JP Homes team with RE/MAX. It's the beginning of July and the Toronto Real Estate Board just dropped their monthly stats from June of 2020. So I'm here as I do every month to break it down, talk a little bit about it, and make some sense of it for you and your particular situation. So here we go. Let's jump right into it and let's take a look and see what's happening with the Treb housing market charts and stats here from June 2020. So this is a new chart that Treb just started bringing out this month, which is actually really great, which is going to show us, first off, sales monthly, and they've given us the past 3 years for comparison as well. So if you look, the orange line is 2020. As we look back over the previous couple of months throughout the year, we see the amount of sales, so the transactions that are happening in the market, really bottomed out here in April, which we've spoken about a couple times over the past couple of months. May, they picked up a little bit, and June, they really picked up. They're back to, almost normals that we saw over the last couple of years. We saw some peaks here in 2019 in May, but pretty good amount of transactions, of sales happening in the month of June, which is great. A very positive note for the market, as we've seen. If you've watched some of the commentary or listened to commentary in the news that Treb has dropped, things are picking up as we've moved into June and July. So that's really great in terms of the amount of transactions going on. New listings, which is something that we've spoken about regularly, the lack of inventory available on the market right now. So here's new listings monthly and over the past 3 years as well. So we see here in June, the orange line, we actually are up in terms of new listings coming to the market from last year and the year before. 2017 obviously was a little bit of a different story, but the interesting part to note is how we've started to increase the new listings from April, again, where we bottomed out. So April, May, June, we almost doubled May, which is a huge increase as well, which is showing some real good signs of confidence, not only now from a buyer point of view, but from a seller point of view as well. So things are coming back to the market. So one of the things, just to quickly point out here, if you've been watching my updates over the last few months and listening to what I've been saying, I've been talking a lot about it's a great time for sellers. If you're thinking about selling, take advantage of the low inventory that's on the market. And as we see right now, that's starting to shift a little bit. People are starting to listen to me, which is always nice. And people are starting to bring their properties to the market. Obviously there's more confidence in the world as we're moving through COVID and different stages of reopening. And as well, we're getting into the summer months, and there's a lot more confidence and positivity moving into the market, which is great. So looking back here, so that's new listings monthly are at a great point that we see. Sales to listing ratios, which are also up just above 50%, which are in line with where we've seen over the last couple of years as well. So that's looking strong. And the final thing in this that I want to talk about and look at really quickly is the average resale home price for June 2020, which you might have heard about on the news. And we're actually up at a very positive point. So this is the GTA as a whole, Toronto Real Estate Board as a whole. But the average sale price is up over last month significantly. It's up over last year and the year before, which is very, very interesting. We're at almost a high for Toronto real estate average prices, which is surprising to some given where we are in the world and the market and everything. But some of the underlying factors we spoke about, the supply and demand, mortgage stuff, which we'll talk about in a minute, are all leading to these factors, which are making that upwards pressure on pricing and keeping things strong. To shift over just quickly to the Market Watch overview the Toronto Real Estate Board brings out, just to give you some of the percentages we talk about every month. In June 2020, there were 8,700 sales, which compared to last year is down by about 1.5%, which is not too bad. And then compared to May 2020 is up 83%. That's the key number that I think is really important to note here, just given that the confidence, again, is back in terms of buyers, people out looking to buy, looking to do deals, buying and selling is happening. Month over month, we are picking right back up and getting into a more healthy and active market. Total new listings, like we spoke about here, compared to June 2019, we're up just over 2%, which is great. And sales to listing ratio, we spoke about 56%. But as we see, slight increases in the new listings. People are starting to bring their homes onto the market. So if you are a seller and have been thinking about it, you're going to start to see more competition coming. Luckily, things are still selling in relatively quick times. There is still strong demand. Again, year over year prices compared to last year, 2019, 11.9% increase this year, and a 9% increase over May of 2020. So prices are standing strong. They are maintaining, contrary to what a lot of people think, the prices are still doing pretty well and maintaining pretty strong. Now, what does all of this mean for you? If you are a seller or a buyer thinking about doing something right now in the market, supply and demand, the simple economics, we talk about it every month, still maintain strong. There is low inventory. There is a strong buyer demand. I just had a property that we listed last week. We took offers on it earlier in the week. During the course of a week, we had over 110 agent showings booked on the property, and we had 21 offers. It's great. It's great. Fantastic. Sellers are happy. Buyers are happy. But what's more important to look at here is over 110 agents had clients that wanted to come and see this property. That means that the buyer demand is still there. Buyer confidence is still there. And I think that's largely fueled by really great interest rates right now. If you've been looking at interest rates, you can get mortgages for slightly under 2% or in the low 2s for new 5-year fixed mortgages right now, which makes affordability a little bit different than maybe if you were looking last year and the year before when rates were at 3% or just above 3%. So affordability is something that is really helping fuel the buyers and keep things moving. The low inventory is obviously keeping upwards pressure on prices. So if you are a seller, although I mentioned a minute ago that there is more inventory starting to come to the market, don't wait. Get your houses ready. Get on the market because there is a strong buyer pool out there, and people are looking to buy. If you're a buyer, like I say every month, be prepared. Get pre-approved by your mortgage broker. Find out how much you can afford now that rates are so low. It might have changed if you got approved 3 or 6 or 7 months ago. Things might be different now. So get pre-approved. Find out what you can afford. Work with your agent. Find out what the realistic values are in the neighborhoods that you're looking for. Look at the sale prices. We're back to seeing a lot of multiple offers like I just mentioned on properties. What you see a house listed for might not be what it ends up selling for. So don't get caught up in that. Make sure that you're watching and finding out exactly what the selling price should be or what you anticipate it to be to make sure it's in the range of where you can afford. So buyers, get out there. Now is the time. There are a lot of opportunities off market. If you're working with an agent, talk to them about what's off market. What do you know that's coming to the market? We do a lot with knocking and calling neighborhoods to find people that are thinking about selling and talking to other agents, our colleagues, my colleagues, about what they have that's not on the market yet and coming. So if you're working with an agent, make sure that they're doing that. And again, if you have any questions on real estate, I'm always happy to help. My email address is scrolling across the bottom, jglazer@remax.net. You can connect with me on all different social channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Watch videos on YouTube that I have. And if you have any real estate questions, get in touch. I hope that was helpful. And if you need anything, let me know. Have a great month. We'll see you in August.